This is how Trump won. He won the electoral college, but he lost the popular vote. So even in the United States of America, which is used to benchmark democracy in many parts of the world, they have issues with their electoral system. When the Democrats lose because of the challenges of the reliance on electoral colleges, they complain and say we should go back to popular vote. And when the other party also loses in the next phase of elections, because maybe they won the popular vote by loss of the electoral colleges and they cannot take the presidency, they complain. So from the 1960s, there has been a debate, very heated debate in the United States of America, like they have on the issue of the death penalty and abortion and all these other moral issues. A debate on should we go with the reliance on electoral colleges where we have electors determine the presidency, or should we actually rely on the popular vote of the people? That issue is there. So you can see that even in those so-called developed democracies, there is still debate as to the imperfections of the system. In 1960 or thereabout, you had about 13 states in the United States of America that sued they presented a petition in the Supreme Court challenging the reliance, the issue of electoral college. Why must the country select its presidency depending on the system of electoral colleges? And they had they thought that this system because you see, electors are not of the same. They thought this system is actually discriminative of some states that may have less votes in that kind of system. So electoral systems cannot be perfect. That's what we must know. Even here in Uganda, I think that the standard that we set on our independent electoral commission is too high. It is an angelic standard that is just so, it's not genuine. It's ingenuine, it is insincere, and we must be, I think, in judging the electoral commission in Uganda, we must be honest with ourselves. First of all, in our democratic system, the way we present the question of the role of the EC in conducting free and fair elections in Uganda, the way we talk about the issue is as if it is only the electoral commission in Uganda that is responsible for ensuring that our elections are free and fair, which is wrong. The current legal regime that we have is such that the electoral commission works with other government institutions to ensure that our electoral process is free, fair, smooth, and that our electoral system yields the leadership that is reflective of the actual will of the people, which they express when they cast their votes. It is not entirely the duty of the Electoral Commission to ensure that. The EC works with the police. All our electoral laws, beginning from the Presidential Elections Act, the Parliamentary Elections Act, even the Local Government Act, the facets of that law that provides for elections. In all these laws, there are electoral offenses provided for. The EC is not self-regulating. It doesn't even investigate these offenses by itself. It relies on the police. So the manner in which our electoral laws are structured is that the EC must work with the police to ensure that there is observance of law and order, particularly there is observance of electoral laws in this country. So it is not the EC, only the EC that is responsible for delivering a truly free and fair electoral system. It's not the EC. The EC works with the courts. It is the duty of the courts to, for example, hear and determine election petitions in Uganda. It is also part of the process of ensuring that our elections are free and fair, because after elections have been held and leaders are declared, these must eventually be subjected to the courts through petitions by various people for review as to whether the elections were free and fair. In many cases, we have had courts here in Uganda where we cross into the next phase of general elections when rulings and judgments in the previous election petitions have not even been delivered. So it is not just the EC that is responsible for ensuring that we have a perfect or a fair